worshipers. Hope you guys are having a great day and that you're able to catch this podcast just for you before you step into worship today. Or maybe you're listening to this and the service already happened. Either way, I hope this encourages you because it's a powerful message. I feel that it's important for us to wrap our heads and spirits around. God gave me this morning as I woke up, and I wanted to share it with you. And I posted on Facebook, and sure enough, it resonated with a lot of folks. And I figured, well, this is going to be something that you Substack members, hopefully you'll really enjoy. So here we go. Worship leader, your role this Sunday morning is not to manufacture a powerful moment. Now, that's a pretty big statement. Because on the one hand, our jobs tell us that we are in control. The graphic I posted this morning put it this way. Worship leader, you're not responsible for the outcome. And I stand by that. And everything that I write here on Substack, Facebook, wherever, I stand behind my words. I just don't, the one thing that you're going to get from me is that I don't sugarcoat. You probably already know that by now. And I also don't take what's trending and just repost it because 1,000 people liked it. No. What you're getting is me. You're getting experience. You're getting years and decades of what I've learned and what I'm still learning. And then when I post something, and then when you tell me in the comments, hey, this really resonated with me, or hey, this didn't really hit the mark for me, I learn from those comments, and then I reinfuse them with other future comments. So this is one of them. Because a lot of worship leaders, when I posted this, I posted something similar a couple months back, and I got a little bit of the pushback because it was like worship leaders tell me, well, yeah, but we need to serve with excellence, and we are in control, we are responsible. Well, let's back up a little bit. I learned from those comments, and here's what I learned. When you say things like, well, but this is our job, we are to do this. Okay, you're right. But that voice is coming from somebody else, not you. When you say things like, well, but we are responsible for the outcome. We are to be excellent. Okay, there's truth to that. You are responsible for your role as a worship leader. Absolutely. We are to do things excellent. Absolutely. Because the Psalms tells us that. Psalms 33. And also in the Gospels, Jesus talks about the talents and not to bury them, but to invest. Absolutely. But here's the but. We tend to catastrophize. What if the excellent doesn't happen? What if the outcome is uncontrollable? And then we take that as a personal responsibility. In fact, some type of metric that we measure against ourselves to say, well, now I'm at fault. You see how easily we can take something that's good as a standard, and then it's abused, and then we're the ones suffering. So I just take issue with that, and I think we need to be very careful, because the truth is, when you look at the worship service, who is it for? Number one. Who owns it? Number two. And then who owns us? Number three. Each answer is God. 1, 2, 3. So if the worship is for him, he owns the worship, he owns us, then what does that tell you? What it tells me is that God is the one that's working through me, not my own abilities. That's what Paul talks heavily on. I'm making myself available. I'm not excusing mistakes and that we should do things shoddy. No, If you look at what I'm saying, it's fulfillment. It's the Holy Spirit working through you to fulfill what God already placed in you for his purpose. Our role as worship leaders is to offer ourselves in worship to God and join him of what he's already creating. In other words, worship doesn't begin with us. It begins with God. And if worship already began with God, then what are you and I doing in the process of it? This is why we are not responsible for producing the presence of God. We are conduits of the Holy Spirit to work through, to operate. And as we present ourselves to be such people, then we are being vessels. We're not trying to control God. We're not trying to preempt God, but we're responding to God. We are allowing God to work through us. Truth is, you are called to respond to God who is already here. Case in point, the Holy Spirit is responsible for the outcome. Your responsibility is to join God in his work. So I leave that with you this morning, or if this is after the service and you're kind of thinking, yeah, but things were out of control today and things did fail and I feel like a failure and I feel responsible for those outcomes. Okay, I hear you. And humanly, yes, there are services that can be hard. And yes, there are situations that we experience and feel like we have not fulfilled that purpose for that day. But let me just back up on that too. You know, worship leader, if those are situations that were beyond your control, then how can you control it? How can you be responsible for it? So I just want to remind you again that God has the outcome, not you. And the Holy Spirit is the one that operates through you, not you. And therefore, we can take joy in what God is doing because we trust the Lord with all of our might, with all of our being, with all of our ministries. And so that we can be the children of God, to walk in his light, to lead worship in the way that he chooses, because you never know the impact of people. And I think that's the one thing that we forget, is that when we catastrophize about what went wrong or that we don't feel good enough or whatever it is, we're missing the point. Because think about the many people that are impacted by what you do and you don't even realize. So it's not fair for us to say, well, I don't measure up, when really God used you in that moment in a way where his measurement is all that matters, because you are the workmanship of Christ. And you just don't know, you have no idea, you don't realize what bigger ministry and inspiration that God used to help other people that day. That's our job as worship leaders. It's to help people worship. It's to remind them who God is and to sing about it. So I'll leave that with you, and I hope this helps. You Substack members are awesome, and I pray the best for you and your ministries. And hey, hit me up. If you are a paid member, then I need to know what's up in your calendar so that we can schedule a one-to-one session, a mentoring moment, if you will. Anyway, good to go. Thanks so much. Love you guys, and see you back soon. Remember, worship deeper, lead stronger. See you next time.